What is up, savages? We are back for yet another video. We've been covering Ryo all week, and tonight is not going to be any different. We are going to take a quick look at their wallet that they call Atom. It's Ryo Wallet Atom, and we'll be looking at that. And it is a slick, simple wallet. I like the interface. I dig it, so I wanted to check it out. So let's do it. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already and you like content such as this, just be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like content like this, and also follow me on Twitter, because over here I post things about the channel. It's real common that the wallet for a privacy coin is one of the main features, and it's actually one of the I'll say it's pretty, right? They're usually slicker, prettier, and simpler, while possibly even being more functional and feature rich depending on the actual network or the actual project itself. It depends on the actual project with what they put into the wallet. And Ryo has gone really all out on their desktop wallet that they call Atom, which we're looking at here. I mean, just look at this thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that all the wallet development for this project was done by a core developer called Mosu Forge. You'll see him on the Ryo webpage and things like that as a core developer. Clearly, they have a really great vision for a nice user interface. I like this. I like how clean it looks. I'm a big fan of things like that. It's simple, but it's got some really cool features. It's actually so good that Loki, another popular privacy coin, forked it and modified it slightly for their network. All right, so in order to get started, we will just go to their website. I would make sure that you always get a wallet from the official locations. Don't click on links that are sent to you like in Discord or in email and saying, hey, this is a cool new Ryo wallet. Don't do that, because you're just asking for trouble. Always get it from the official source. So you go to their main web page here, the ryo-currency.com, and then I think you can just click on wallet up here. Now I'm referring to the Ryo desktop GUI wallet, the one that they merged with the Lite wallet and all that, and made a really cool wallet. So I'm going to choose the zip version because I want to see if this thing actually puts that JSON file in that location. Make that start over here. All right, so it starts like this, and I'm going to go out here and point to my wallets folder. This is the location. Now this is asking where you want to put your wallet, the actual program, not your wallet files. So I'm just gonna choose the Ryo folder, right? Wallets Ryo. I'm not going to go into wallets because those are my actual wallet files, and which, right now there's none in there. So we're going to go select folder, and that's where I want to install or extract the files to. So I'm going to click extract there. And then you can see right here, this is where it extracted the files to. Gave it a nice folder name with the version number and all that stuff. So if you go into here, the executable is Ryo Wallet Atom.exe. I'm just going to create a shortcut to it real quick. Put the shortcut out here on the front so it's easy to get to. Like that. And then I'm going to run it. Just double click on it. And then it can tell that, this is the first time it ran. So you have to click on more info and then run anyway if you're doing this on Windows. All right, cool. So yeah, this is the way it'll start if you've never installed it, right? So it's actually going to, it looks like it's going to walk through a little configure thing here. I'm going to choose dark theme and then next. All right, awesome. And it's asking me where my data is, the data storage path. Remember I told you that I already have the blockchain data synced and downloaded and all that, so it's 15 gigs. So I'm going to, if you choose this right here, then it's going to download it again if it doesn't already exist here, right? So I'm just going to select location. I'm going to go out to where my blockchain data is. I want to say that I don't think I need to go in that folder. I might be able to do it like this. I think it knows that folder name, so I'm going to choose select folder just like that. And it looks like, I remember this from before, that is what my folder used to look like on the previous install. We could have checked that before we actually, uninstalled everything. And then you can also see up here that it's got the default as local plus remote daemon. Now the most secure is this one, where it's using all local stuff, local data, and not going out and touching another computer or another daemon to actually do transactions and things like that. I'm going to leave it as the default for now just to get up and running, but I encourage you to, once you're fully synced and everything, to come in here and set it to local daemon only to be the most secure, so you don't have to rely on outside sources in order to participate on the network. So I'm going to choose next here. All right, great. It's telling me what I did, so I'm going to choose next. Now you get the pop-up for Windows Defender. Allow access. All right, so now we don't have any wallets listed in here, right? All right, so if you look at their wallet, you have the little, they call this like a hamburger up here, these three little lines. So you click on that. I know I already have a couple of wallets listed in here, but I'm just going to click on this just to show you the settings and things. So I'm going to click on the hamburger and then go to settings. And then you got three options under general. You got local plus remote daemon. That means that this will kind of get you started quickly. It's the default option, and the wallet will download the full blockchain to your computer, which is about 15 gig right now, I believe, somewhere around in there. And but it will use a remote node while it's syncing. So what I believe that this means is that you could actually use the wallet, pretty functional, send and receive and things like that, while it's downloading the blockchain in the background. Now this is not the most secure, this is the default, but the most secure way is to use the local daemon only, and that's going to download the full blockchain and only use your wallet to transact, right? Or you only use that copy of the blockchain to transact. So the downfall obviously is it's a huge amount of data, 15 gigabytes plus, or about 15 I think, plus it has to be fully synced before you can transact and things like that. Okay, but this is by far the most secure. So if you're hardcore, crypto guy or crypto person, and you want to be the most secure, then this is the method that you would use, the local daemon only. Then you also have remote daemon, which is just simply talking to a remote host that is feeding you the blockchain information and all that. So you don't have anything that downloads to your local computer, and you're using that remote host for everything. So this is not, in my opinion, this is like by far, actually it's not even my opinion, it is by far the least secure, because you're relying on an external computer to actually do your transactions and provide you with your security. So, by far the most secure is this one. If you want to get up and running fast, you would use local plus remote daemon. Super cool that they included all these options. I kind of think that maybe they should highlight this one a little bit more, like as most secure, or maybe even make this one the default. I see why they wouldn't, because to get people up and running and just to make it simple, this is the default. So I'm going to choose this one because I think that's what was selected already. Not going to worry about that too much right now, but just keep all that in mind, these three different options. Now, what another really super cool feature of this particular wallet, I love this, is that you're able to easily choose the path of the blockchain data, right? So if you want to change it, all you have to do is select the location and then go out there and change it. Change it to the location, whatever you want. You can see mine's in my normal wallets folder. And here's the path right here currently, but if you wanted to change it, it's just as easy, you could just go in here and actually change the location. You can see right here, this is the actual data file, or the blockchain data folder right here, and you can see it's 15 gig. And I am fully synced with this wallet, so that's probably pretty accurate. And it's all that's in like one file, right? One blockchain data file. So that is that. Let's see, local daemon only. You can select the location for that. Got some advanced options. Don't really want to get too much into that. It's got ports and things like that on here. Typically, unless you're like a superpower user, you're really not going to use this information down here for the most part. Now I do want to say, let's see, this one, yeah. Okay, so the local and remote and the local also have whether or not you plan on keeping the wallet up and running all the time, like running a node, right? So if you're not going to do that, then I would choose no, private network mode. But if you are going to keep it on all the time, then if you want to participate in the network, then you would choose yes, interconnected network mode. So that would allow you to basically be a node on the Ryo network, which is cool. If you want to really support the project, right, with your computing power. And that works the same for both local plus remote and the local daemon. It has the same two options here. So moving on to preferences. And preferences is where you can choose the light theme or the dark theme. Super cool. That's like a thing now, or it has been for a while, where every project has to have, whether it's a web page or a wallet, you got to have light and dark mode. You just have to. Even Twitter has that now. So it's one of those things. But I like the dark theme. It also has minimize to tray. So if you were to close it, it would, instead of closing it, I don't know if it asks because I haven't even tried that. But if you just close it, I think it'll just go minimize to the tray and still be running. Remember that one option about run it 24/7. So that's kind of handy if you're running a node, basically, right? So that's kind of cool. It'll just minimize to the tray. And then you can also launch it at startup, which is another thing. Like if you're running a node, or if you want to participate in the network or as a node on the network, then you can choose that as well. That way it launches whenever you start Windows every time. And then you also have an inactivity timeout, kind of a security feature, like a screensaver or whatever. But basically it will time out and send you back to the main window saying, hey, your session is timed out. Not really a session, but it's timed out due to inactivity. And I have mine set to 30 minutes just because we were doing the demos and stuff. So I didn't want it. I think by default it might be as low as 5 minutes. It might be 10 minutes. I don't know. It's either 5 or 10. It's way down there. So I left it at 30, or I selected 30. And then also it's got notifications, like do you want to be notified if you're trying to send a transaction without a payment ID? And you would want to be warned of that if you were transacting with an exchange, like if you were trying to get the transaction or get your Ryo crypto to an exchange. Oftentimes they're going to require a payment ID. And if you don't have that payment ID from the exchange, then you risk losing your crypto, right? So keep that in mind as well. But I would probably say that both of these, you would probably want to keep them on all the time to be notified. The other one is notify when creating or restoring a wallet with an insecure password. So if you've got a real easy to guess password or no password, like you'll see here in a minute, then it'll warn you, like, hey, it'll throw a warning up there. But if you're comfortable with it, then you can turn that one off, and that way you're not being bugged by that message about insecure password. And then also up here you've got peers, and peers are going to show you all the nodes that you're actually connected to at this moment that you're synchronizing with. So if you go back to settings, or actually you hit this little back arrow up here, then down here at the bottom, this is really important to kind of keep an eye on what's going on down here. It tells you your block height and how much of the blockchain you've synced with, or whether or not you're 100% and it is, you can tell right here that it is 100%. But just remember that syncing with the network and being 100% down here is ideal. Let's move on. Another thing that I really like about this wallet is there's copy buttons everywhere. So like even if you're not in the wallet, like you see these two wallets right here, they're not open, they're just sitting here. It knows that they exist in those folders, in the folder for the wallet. You have create new wallet, so you could create a new wallet. We'll create one real quick just to show you what it's like. You have two options here. Well, you have seed language, what kind of language you want the seed words to be in. You've got long address, that will create both a public and a private view and spin keys, and it allows the creation of view-only wallets. And the short address creates a shorter style address with only private and spin keys, does not support view-only wallets. And you might be wondering, what is this view-only wallet thing? Well, a view-only wallet usually is used by, it can only see which incoming transactions belong to you. It cannot spin any of your Ryo, right? By default, it's just going to show you all incoming transactions. That's what the view-only wallet is for. So just keep that in mind. So let's create a long address so that we get everything, and we will just give it no password. We're going to name it Ryo Russia. Create, it's going to say, hey, this is that warning that I was talking about earlier. Hey, you're leaving it unencrypted, or using an empty password is leaving it unencrypted, basically. We're going to click continue. Don't do that. Your wallet should be secure, so make sure that you secure it. And then it comes up immediately and says, or I say secure it, make sure that you put a password on it. It comes up and says, okay, here's your seed words, here's your view key, spin key, and then it wants you to confirm the seed words, right? So to make sure that you wrote them down in the right order and things like that. Let's see here. I think that, okay, so it says snake is the first one. So you just get to click them down here, which is kind of nice. So it wants you to write them down. See, now it's like, okay, so I would have to write them down or copy them. Okay, it did actually create it, I guess. So let's see if it'll open. I'm just going to go over here and delete it because we don't need it. All right, so that now we're back to being like we were before. And what we can do though, so that's how to create a new wallet. We can also restore wallet from seed. And I have a wallet that I created earlier that has, it was donations, I believe was the name of it. So I'm going to call this donations. And this is how you would restore from seed. So write down your seed phrase. It is ultimately important. That and your private key, all that stuff, you got to keep that stuff safe, man. You got to get it, you got to document it. You got to keep it safe. I created a wallet earlier called donations, and I had exported the seed phrase or the mnemonic seed. So I have that documented, and I deleted it from the wallet, which deleted it from the file system also. So all those files that you see in the wallet folder over here, there used to be one called donations and donation address and donation keys, and they're gone. So because whenever you delete them from over here, it deletes it from here. And we just kind of saw that, right, with that Ryo RU wallet that we created. So I'm going to, from my documentation, from my safe or whatever, wherever you store your seed phrase and your private data, I'm going to go and retrieve that from that location. And in this case, it's just a text file because I'm just goofing around, but don't do that in real life. So I'm going to, it won't let you right click anywhere in here. So you have to click Control V, and that'll put it in there for you if it's on your clipboard. So Control V puts it in there, and you can see that it went from, if you go back to, let's see here. I thought it was going to go like red or something. I guess it doesn't. That's not what it was it? Was it pirate? I don't remember now. Let me repaste it in here. Okay, so it goes red. So as soon as you type anything, it goes blue. Okay, I was thinking that maybe it was telling me that it was good whenever I pasted it, but that's not the case. All right, so we've got that. Then you can also choose, this is kind of cool because if you know that, like this wallet I created today, right? I don't need to have this go out and check all of the entire 15 gig of blockchain for transactions with this wallet because I just created it today, so there won't be any. So you can actually tell it like, hey, I want to start, today basically with the scanning part of it for this wallet. So I'm gonna go up to August 2019, 15th. I'll go to the 14th just for the heck of it. Set. So now that changes the restore date. And you could also do a block height if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. And then the password was nothing, if I remember right. And then I'm all synced up. Everything's good. So I'm going to click restore. It's telling me that using an empty password is bad. Don't do that. Don't do that in real life. I'm just doing this for the demo. All right, so now it imported that wallet from the seed phrase only. That's all I had. I only had the words, the seed words, and that's it. So you see that now I have information. I have the view key, I have the spin key, and if I go back out here to the main window here, then I have another wallet added. And then you can also restore the view only. That's another option out here. So if we get back out to switch wallet, which I like this feature as well, instead of having to close the wallet, like you've seen in other wallets, you've seen me do it on the stream. I have to close the wallet, I have to go into the files for the wallet, I have to rename the wallet to wallet.dat. Yes, there are other ways of doing it, but I'm just saying in general, that's what you have to do. Like with a Qt wallet, you have to say, okay, the wallet.dat file, change that name, then change the other file, the other wallet's name to wallet.dat, and then open the wallet. This one, you don't have to do that. You just go to the hamburger, switch wallet, close it, and then you are back at the main screen. That's going to show you the wallets that are in that file, that your file system. And remember, we restored that donations from seed phrase, and now it shows up in here, right? Because it's one of the wallets that we imported from the seed phrase, or restored the wallet from seed. You can also restore the view only wallet, or a view only wallet if you have one. We already talked about the view only stuff. And then you can also import wallet from file. All right, so we also have, I'll go into donations. It's just the easiest one to get to. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to YouTube demo. I want to send. I want to send. I don't think I have anything in the address book. Okay, I do. All right, so that's the donations address. So I'm just gonna, this is another really cool feature. Once you have something in your address book, like this right here, this camera's way down, then if you want to send to that address, you just click on the little button over here that says send coins, and then it just fills everything out for you. So there's no like copying and pasting and all that nonsense. It's just right there. Super cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to send 5. I think there's 10 in here total. So let's send that. It tells you right here, like I was saying earlier, no payment ID was provided. So if you are sending it to an exchange, you might lose your funds. So don't do that. I'm not sending it to an exchange. I'm just sending it to another address in this same wallet or on the same computer. So it says successfully sent. I think I tried this before. Okay, yeah, I never got that before. So I think maybe I was doing it while it was probably still syncing maybe. I don't know. I don't remember, but nonetheless, it looks like it went, or it's going to go this time. So I'm going to go back to switch wallet, go back to donations, open. Okay, so it's showing that, it's showing up in here as pending. That's great. So in a few minutes, it'll be good, or it should in a few minutes. All right. But you also have wallet actions in here. You've got show your private keys. Now this is donations. You already saw the private keys for that. So if you guys want to steal this 5 Ryo before I ship it out of here, then go for it. You also have change password, rescan. Like let's say that you are missing transactions, like something's not right, it doesn't look right. You can do a rescan. Manage key. images, those are for key images. They basically prevent double spins on, and they're part of every ring signature transaction on the network. There can only be one key image for each output, and that's what this is referring to. And then that information is actually stored on the blockchain so that miners can validate and make sure that there aren't double spins on the network. Probably won't have to deal with that too much on a normal day-to-day basis. I don't think that it's, but you can export and import the key images. That's what that feature is right there. Another cool thing, well, we already did the sending and receiving, but another cool thing that this wallet does is if you do size it, then close it, it'll remember the size that you closed it from, right? So it's like a kind of a normal Windows feature, but some wallets don't have it. Some wallets will start up, they have like a default setting for what size they start up to. So I selected to add to address book right here, and I gave it a name, and I don't think I put any notes in there, but I gave it a name, and then I clicked send, and whenever I did that, it actually added it to the address book. So here's the entry right here for donations. So now if I want to send to that address again from the YouTube demo wallet, I could just click on this little guy over here, and it fills it out for me. If I want to get super secure, top secret, I can go 100 ring members. We talked about ring signatures and stuff like that last night, but that's how you get an entry into your address book. Oh wow, y'all see that, right? That's kind of cool that it does that. So it knew, hang on just a second, Shuby, don't send anything. So it knew that I modified this file with another address, and whenever I did that, it changed the cryptographic signature of this wallet because it didn't have the correct logo over here, or whatever this thing is called. What is that called? Identicon. Awesome. Yeah, I was going to say Avatar. That's what I was going to say. But Identicon, I think that is definitely the name of it. All right. So, all right, cool. This is neat. This is neat stuff. Good grief. I think we covered everything. I believe that's it.